Hey, YouTubers and Marx train collectors, a little treat for you. For many years, I've been attempting to collect an entire set of Canadian Pacific cars, passenger cars. And there were two of the passenger cars put out, and two different styles. One was four-wheel and one was eight-wheel with two trucks. And as you can see, I have the eight-wheel with two trucks. Um, Four wheels are very difficult to find, and they're because they are difficult to find, they're rather valuable. I don't know if it was just because of the color or because Marx used a less expensive paint on these, but they tend to really scratch up and fade. So they're almost impossible to find in this condition. So I went to a little train meet. I didn't expect to find anything. It was in Gridley, California, which is about 60 miles north of Sacramento, California, if you're familiar with California, and about 25 miles to the south of Chico, California, where I live. So it was a nice half-hour drive. Went to the show and found on the tables, found nothing but Lionel and Williams and Mike's Train House and K-Line, and nothing I was interested in. But I remember what the old timers told me. I saw a couple of booths that had a lot of boxes underneath of them, underneath the tables. And I looked at the boxes, and guess what I found? A bunch of Canadian Pacific cars, Marx Canadian Pacific cars. And two of them I needed to complete my set. I was missing three. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 8 to complete the whole set. What I'm missing is the Quebec. And I've got the Vancouver here. And try not to shake the camera too much as I turn up the transformer. Of course, the darn train's going to want to go backwards. And there's the Winnipeg. And those are two that I was missing. I got 3 there at the meet that I've got as extras now. I can remember that I've got 2 Hamiltons. I don't recall what the other 2 are. They're underneath the layout. But I've got the Calgary, the Ottawa, and let's move her up. We've got, sorry about letting the camera go down. We've got the Toronto and the Montreal and the Hamilton. I have to lean forward to reach the transformer. It's a small room and it's kind of a rinky-dink production. I should call these productions Chuck's rinky-dink train productions instead of Big Lizard production. Why blame it on him? He's not doing anything. So at any rate, I'm one short now. If anyone's got a Quebec car, 2 Quebec cars, because they're going to want to keep one, let me know, and I'll see what the other cars are underneath the 2 other cars, along with the Hamilton, the extra Hamilton, and perhaps we can just trade, providing they're in this kind of condition. This is what I would call excellent condition. The roofs are a bit faded on my original set. They obviously had a window above their layout. I'm going to turn this spotlight off. That's better. And you can see my Canadian Pacific locomotive 3000 and the nice Canadian Pacific tender. So this is about, I think, as close as I'm ever going to come to the whole set, but who knows? Maybe there's a Quebec out there waiting for me. So I'm going to turn it on and run it, and try to be mindful not to bend over again, so that all you're looking at is the cloth around the layout. Get this train running at a decent speed. There she goes. Trick is to get it fast enough so it'll get all these cars around these tight corners, but slow enough so you can actually see these cars. Jeez, go a little faster than that. And let's put on some Canadian Pacific music with Hank Snow. Yeah, that's a good speed. This is this 3000 locomotive was originally made for pulling a Canadian Pacific passenger set, and they added extra weights to it. I also added a double reduction motor, which is a 5-minute swap, so it have a little more power to pull all these cars. I guess I knew I was going to get 7 cars someday, and I'm hoping for 8. All of these tin plate cars, the wheels on the trucks and the axles have been oiled. A lot of people never bother to do that, and it really helps your locomotive. It's a lot strain on it, less strain on the locomotive when you've got all these wheels spinning. After I oil them, I spin the wheels, and if they spin freely for several seconds, I know I've done a good job. I also found another Canadian Pacific locomotive and tender with these cars. So, gosh knows what I'm going to do with that. I think I've got 6 Canadian Pacific locomotives now. Marx. They sure are pretty. Yeah, color on these cars, I've heard them called maroon and wine maroon. So, whatever they are, they're gorgeous. Well, thank you for watching. And once again, this has been a rinky-dink Big Lizard production. Bye-bye and Happy New Year.